Welcome back to West Texas View.
Welcome back to the West Texas View. I'm Johnny Lou Avery, and Patrick Ramsey and Terry Stewart are here from the Samaritan Counseling Center, and we've been talking about all of the great things that are available to help people at the Samaritan Counseling Center, which is located, the main center is located at the Midland, Odessa Industrial Park. But let's talk about the satellite campuses.
Okay. Well, we have in Midland, there are satellite campuses at St. Anne's Church and Casa de Amigos. And the Casa de Amigos ones has both English and Spanish counseling. In Odessa, we've got the Westminster Presbyterian Church. And then in Big Spring, it's First Christian Church, and Andrews is the Business and Technology Center. Usually we have clients come to the airport office first and get all the paperwork and the initial assessment over with first, and then the therapists who go to those campuses
for convenience.
Funnel.
And one of the things that we might say is having it in a church building does not mean anything from that denominational standpoint. It means that they are providing space.
Absolutely.
And that they have a very confidential entry into that space, and so it's easy for people in Big Spring to go to that space because that's a very well-located church, and so these others, you have done that for the convenience of the clients.
Yeah, it's people in Midland, they might prefer to go to St. Anne's because it's closer than the airport. And of course, Big Spring and Andrews, those are quite far, and so that allows both cities to have access to counseling in a much more convenient way.
But at the same time, all of the small communities in our very rural areas of the Permian Basin are just as welcome to the Samaritan Counseling Center as somebody from the major communities in there. And I know in the past we've had people from Seminole and Crane and Rankin and all of the communities have been very supportive of the Samaritan Counseling Center and felt like it was their counseling center too.
Sure, I think they own it, and they come from really all over. I was really surprised to see how far people would come to Samaritan to get counseling, even as far as Hobbs. And I don't know how far is Hobbs.
It's a long way. but you see, when you can't get it around you, and there's just not that many.
Well, and we've got the specialists at Samaritan. Yes. We have the people that are really good at their craft.
And a team approach.
Yes. And so that's a good reason to do that.
And many times you have a family here, and the children are going to be seen by one counselor and the parents by.
Well, and I think that's a really good thing about Samaritan is that we'll have one counselor doing a couple, for instance, and another counselor doing the one member of the couple, and a third doing the second member, and maybe someone else doing kids. So you could really get the team approach and see the different points of view from people who have. I'm not going to be the same as one of my other counselors. They're going to be a little bit different.
And I'm not going to talk as freely in front of other members of my family as I will if I'm off with my own counselor, and so it makes a lot of difference. But the important thing, and say a little bit more about chemical abuse counseling, because this is pretty new to the Samaritan Counseling Center. We did not start out with chemical.
We have had one LCDC in the past, and within the last year, we've had a second person become licensure in chemical dependency, and she had also worked at a hospital. So we funnel a lot of people toward her that maybe need to go to Alcohol Anonymous meetings or other kind of addictions, and she does a terrific job at doing that. That's Patricia Homer. That's her specialty, and so she can provide good service for it.
And do you ever have any age counseling? People that just can't get past the point that they have gotten old, or that they're at their midlife crisis, or anything like that?
We have had a few counselors in the past work with that and specialize in it, and just a few, just a few adults who are dealing with aging or illness, or sometimes it's some kind of chronic disease that they're because they're getting older and their body's not kicking in the way they want, have trouble with that.
That's really interesting. Well, anything else before I ask Terry to recap all the stuff about our upcoming wonderful event we're going to have?
No, I'm eager to see Terry do her dancing.
Oh. Our big fundraiser is coming up on the 22nd of September at 7:30 at the CAF hangar. And
yes, ma'am.
It.
This is an opportunity not only to honor the amazing families that we have chosen this year, but also to feel good about what you're donating to, but also have a wonderful time. You can put all that in one basket at this event. And this event will increase our ability to help the people that are in need of help all over the Permian Basin. And and it's sad to say, but unfortunately there are a lot of people out there that need our help. And in order for us to continue what we're doing, we need your help to help us with this event. And please contact us at Samaritan 563-4144, and we hope to see everyone out there on the 22nd.
And you're going to have, even though we're getting really close to this date, you've still got room for sponsors and the ticket sales. You should have just received your invitations. And so if you've got any questions about anything, be sure and call Terry. And then send your reservations in because they're going to be selling out.
Yes, ma'am.
But the departure from this is that it's going to be a dinner dance, and it's going to be the big band sound.
The big band era.
It's going to have a wonderful band that most of the people in Midland, Odessa are familiar with. So, anything that you've got questions about whether what the cost is, whether I can come to the clinic, call, and the Samaritan Counseling Center will give you free information. If you want tickets, we got free information. We'll see you next Sunday with another program. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for joining us for News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery. This has been a public affairs presentation of KWAB-TV and KWES-TV.